my whole entire life, that I was a trooper. I didn't sit down, I didn't run, yes, I was. So needless to say, now my legs hurt so bad I can't walk. I can't move, I can't bend my knees, but yesterday I was fabulous. Okay, so questions. There'll be certain questions that in order for me to really answer, we need to put our phones away. But for right now, we'll let it go. So we'll see. We'll see how nitty gritty we get. Go ahead.
How old were you when you started the ALDC?
When I started the ALDC, I was 14. My birthday is in September. So I was 13 and I was turning 14, and I asked my mom if I could start a competition team, which we didn't use the word team then, just like company or troop or performing group. And she said yes, but she had one condition, that everybody that came to try out made it. Because my mother was so kind and loving, and she just wanted children to dance. And my mom had a huge business, big business. She rented halls in different areas. So she had at least 125, 150 kids a day, but 6 days a week in 6 different places. So close to 1,000 students. And she, then she went into a shopping center and a big studio and a lot of overhead, and she stopped traveling so much and working so hard. And then I built my building. And the dance company started with 15 kids. There was 14 girls and 1 boy. And Kelly, one of the dance moms on the original show, the original cast, she was one of those 15 kids that started with me. And then what was I going to say? And then it grew, my dance company. The largest team I had was 148 kids. Yeah, so 148 kids, like 380 kids in the studio. And I was working, and there every Sunday for free. And I was making some incredible dancers. And those kids went on to do great, great things. I've had clap for that. That's a big deal. Not too many people in Pittsburgh have that. Point Park University, there was a time when I had more kids on Broadway than they did, you know. So, okay, next question. You.
Why did you move the Abbey Dance Company to LA?
I don't know. The network and the production company wanted to move the show to LA because that's where they all live, and they don't like Pittsburgh. They didn't want to be there. So the stupid Abby, this one over here, used her own money, and I built out a dance studio in a building that started out much like this, and then I built it out. And I spent $380,000 building it out of my pocket, and the rent is $26,000 per month.
I was wondering what that rent was.
Yeah, you saw it.
You saw it, and
it's magnificent.
It's magnificent, but the area is.
Well, for you, you think the area's but it's
really
west. It's west of the 405.
Yeah.
So it's in between. There's Beverly Hills,
right.
Brentwood,
and then Santa Monica, right? Isn't it?
Well, Santa Monica and Culver City, Pacific Palisades. So it's in a very nothing. It's nothing. Yeah. Yeah. Location. But we were shooting a show. So at the time that I was doing the build, I had done another show for the network called Abbey Studio Rescue. It was horrible, and I didn't want to do it. My mom had just died, and I wanted nothing to do with it. That's where I met Jordan, actually. But they did build outs. So every single studio we redid 7 dance studios. And every one of the studios, my friends, my connection, let's say, not friends, my connection with the flooring company that I had used in Pittsburgh, it's Stage Step, they're in Philadelphia, that's where they're from. They actually flew out to LA and did my floors themselves, the 2 owners. They laid them by hand themselves. Everything was done because I was doing a trade out. So I thought the network would thank them at the end of the show when you see it, and it says special thanks to, the city of, where they film movies. That's what it was supposed to happen. And they were also, we shot film of the guys laying the floors. Mackenzie ran in and laid on the floor and hiked in, and it was all funny, it was all cute. they did none of it. So I paid $79,000 for the floors in a building I don't own. After I already built a building in Pittsburgh, and my building was fine. The shooting there was great. The upstairs mezzanine, it was all good. But they had us rehearsing in LA in these horrible studios. The floors were bad. Our knees were killing us. Our feet hurt. Gianna was dying. I was like, I just have to open here. So I did, and I thought, we'll all have 20 of the best students from every studio in town are going to quit their studios, and they're going to come running to me to be the next Maddie, and life will be good. I need 400 kids paying $200 a month, and it'll break even, and see how bad businesswoman I am. I'm trying to break even, and then my TV show money that I get as a salary will go into my savings. We'll be good. Well, that's not what happened.
No.
I got fans, and they came for a month and quit, and then started soccer. And I'm in a very, very, very Jewish community, and LA period is very Jewish and very religious, and they don't come. They have more days off of school than they have in school. So that's what it was. So that was a great question. You weren't probably looking for that whole big long answer, but and that's when the trouble started with the girls. I'll be honest. That's when the trouble started, was moving to LA, because there's movie premieres, and there's stylists, and there's agents, and there's publicists, and there's managers, and there's all these people trying to get their hooks into the girls, and they're inviting them to all these things. Well, you're a 14, 15-year-old girl. You've been dancing your entire life. It's all you've ever known and all you've ever done. And somebody wants to send you to a movie premiere and put you on the carpet and dress you in a fabulous outfit. Well, of course you want to go. I want to go. I want to leave early. Jonah wants to leave early. We're all leaving early. Let's go. Forget the show. Forget the dancing. Forget the competition this weekend. Let's just go. Well, that's what started to happen. And when that happens, the dancing deteriorates, the technique and the training. And they didn't care. And the mothers, all these people are telling them this, and they're in their ear, and they're that, and da-da-da. And it was kind of like, well, crap on Miss Abby. She's just a podunk dance teacher from Pittsburgh. She doesn't know what she's doing. But if it wasn't for me,
they wouldn't have been there.
That's right. Bingo. So you have to remember where you came from and who trained you, and it goes back to that. And there'll be somebody else that's the hot star, and they won't be anymore. So everyone has their time, and it comes and goes, and that's what it is. But that was kind of the demise, was all the stuff going on. Had we stayed in Pittsburgh, those kids would have been in dance class on Tuesday night till 9:30, because there's nothing happening. There's no gifting suite in Pittsburgh to go to get free stuff. It doesn't work like that, before the Emmys or before the Oscars. All right, next question. Yes, you.
What was your favorite dance that you ever choreographed?
On the show? Okay. On the show, the favorite dance would have been Where Have All the Children Gone? The very first time around. Although, secret, I really choreographed that in my studio before with the boy as the voice and other girls. And it was a really good number, and it won a lot. So when it was time on the show, and I brought that up to the producers, and I pitched that, because I pitched all the ideas for every good number to the producers, but I don't get a creative credit, which we'll get to later. I said, we can do it, but we need to do it differently, because I had a boy, and da-da-da-da-da, and we did it. We reached out to the author of the music, and we got the real music. He gave us permission to use it. So we used it. And then my second favorite would be The Last Text, because I just love it, and I think shame on Lifetime, because they should have used it for a public service announcement and had it on all of their networks playing all the time, and paid me residual for it. And then the third one was the hotline suicide, the teen suicide hotline, and I was a little iffy on that, because I thought, teen suicide, it's just a touchy subject, and people might be offended by that, and this and that. The producers, they just stir it up. So I thought, how can we do it? So we just made it about the hotline, more about the phone and the calling in. That hotline had over 2,000 calls after the show aired. Every single thing about them, like their internet, their social media, everything has grown. It's tripled since our show. So I think that was a great thing, and it worked out, a great way. Next question.